Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see very important articles that appear in our today's newspaper. So let's get started with our discussion. First of all, I'll let you know important topics of the day, and later on we are going to see each and every topic from prelims and as well as mains point of view, and I'll let you know how question can be asked from that topic. And at last, I'll be giving you prelims practice questions so that you'll get an idea like how question can be asked from that topic. Okay, now let us see the topics of the day. First topic is efforts on to contain Nipah outbreak, says Kerala Minister. There is outbreak of Nipah virus in Kerala. So if there is any outbreak of diseases which are there in news, UPSC has a tendency to ask a question. How it can ask a question is, the first way is consider the following statements regarding Nipah virus. Under that they may give you 3 to 4 statements and they will ask you to identify either correct or incorrect statements. That is the first type of question. And next one here is for UPSC you have to prepare at least 1 to 1.5 year of current affairs. So in that 1 to 1.5 year you will get minimum some number of diseases which will be there in news, right? So they will take all those diseases and they will form a single question. They'll give you a pair based question. Consider the following pairs. On one side, they'll give you different diseases, like for example, dengue virus, Nipah virus, chikungunya, like that. And they may ask you some related thing to that, and they'll ask you to identify which of the above are correct or incorrect pairs. So these are the two types of questions that you can expect from this topic. And this topic is important from science and technology. In science and technology, you will be studying about these diseases. And next one is Bacillary dysentery cases rise in Kerala. Again in Kerala there is one more disease which is rising, that is called as dysentery. So here you have to know some basic facts related to this dysentery. And on this also in the same format UPSC can give you a question. And both these diseases are viral in this Kerala region now. And next article is contraceptive use and the weight women carry. Insights from NFHS6. So recently National Family Health Survey had been released. So here one important point which mainly focused by this survey here is use and availability of contraceptives and what is the impact on women reproduction. So here you have to see about that from health point of view from GS paper 2. And next topic is implementation incomplete but implementation complete but workers still vulnerable. As you all know that recently accident happened in Vizag steel plant. In that around 9 members they were died and many got injured. Recently our government implemented labor laws. That is nothing but new labor codes. Even though after implementation of this labor codes at the practical level, at the ground level, even though labor are vulnerable. That is about this article. And apart from this article, in our today's newspaper, there is one article related to Great Nicobar Development Project. Already we discussed that number of times, just revise that topic. And other topics also we did in our class, so I left that topic. And apart from that, there is one article related to this one, depreciation of Indian rupee. So here we have to see that topic. I will tell you what is that topic is also. Okay, now let us see one by one in clear. See this title guys. Efforts to contain means to stop the spread of Nipah outbreak, Kerala Minister. The key word in this article is just Nipah virus. Whenever you are seeing any disease which is there in news, you have to focus on these points. Beyond that, UPSC will not ask any question. We have to know what is the disease name. Next one is causative organism. Causative organism is nothing but whether it is caused by bacteria or virus or protozoa or whatever it may be. You have to see what is that causative organism. That is the first one. And next one is you have to see which system of your body is getting affected. whether it is digestive system or whether it is respiratory system, whether it is nervous system or whether it is cardiovascular system or what. And next you have to see transmission, how this disease is transmitted. What are the ways of transmission? And next we have to see treatment part. RX is nothing but treatment. Treatment is nothing but whether we have directly antibiotics or not, or which kind of medicines doctor can prescribe. And here you have to see whether we have vaccines or not for that. Because from COVID-19 onwards, UPSC is focusing on this vaccine for the diseases. Here you have to see whether we are having any vaccines to prevent this disease in future or not. So these areas you have to focus, nothing beyond this. Okay. Now let us see some facts regarding this Nipah virus. Okay, Nipah infection is caused by this Nipah virus, and you know in cell we have what? Genetic material, right? In this genetic material, how many types of genetic material do we have? 2 types. I think you might have heard about DNA and we have RNA. In humans, we have DNA and RNA. But if you see in virus, they have only one, either DNA or RNA. Only one the virus will have. Some will be having DNA and some will be having RNA. And if you see this Nipah virus, it is RNA based virus. That means it is having genetic material that is only RNA. DNA is absent in this virus. That is also a thing that you have to remember related to this virus. Okay, virus we have either DNA or RNA. You have to see that virus is having DNA or RNA. And in this case of Nipah virus, it is having only RNA, not DNA. And this one is, it is a zoonotic disease, very important. What is the meaning of a zoo? Zoo means the place where we can see animals. Zoonotic means nothing but this is a disease transmitted from animals to humans. Okay, whenever humans are coming in contact with animals, that virus or bacteria which is present in these animals will get transmitted to humans. That kind of disease is called as zoonotic disease. And this Nipah virus is commonly seen in fruit bats. You know this bats. In Telugu we will call it as gabbilalu. Normally in the night time they will come outside in search of their food, right? So here we have fruit bats. Fruit bats will be like very big bats. They will weigh more than 1 to 1.5 kgs. So what happens here is humans, they will consume this fruit bats. That means obviously if they have to consume it, they have to catch them and they have to kill them, they have to cut them. So in this process what happens, that virus will be getting transmitted to humans. Okay, because of this disease is called as zoonotic disease. Are you understanding? Okay, and it is commonly called as, it is also communicable. After once this virus enters into human body and from human to human, the transmission will happen. Because of this, it is cause of concern now. And next one is, it is commonly called as flying fox. Fruit bat is also called as flying fox. And if you see PYQs of environment, many a times UPSC asked question on flying fox. Even 2023 also UPSC asked a question on it. Consider the following statements regarding flying fox. Why? This fruit bat is responsible for transmission of not only Nipah virus but even other diseases to humans. Of course, you need to know about that flying fox. So because of this, UPSC asked question even in 2023. The question in this format, consider the following statements regarding flying fox. They gave, I think, 2 or 3 statements and they asked to identify the correct statements. And even 2026 paper also, there is one question on lion-tailed macaque. Okay, if this kind of disease which are transmitted by this fruit bat is more in the news, obviously again UPSC can ask a question on flying fox. You have to know in that way. Okay. And if you see the transmission here, first of all from fruit bat, it will transmit to humans. And after once human get that disease, obviously it will be like spreaded to other human easily. That means it is zoonotic plus human to human transmission is possible in this Nipah virus. Because of that only now Kerala government is taking lots of steps to control this transmission of Nipah virus from one person to human, another person. It is nothing but human to human transmission they want to control. Are you understanding? Okay, next one here is symptoms. What will be the symptoms if you get this acute respiratory illness? That means your respiratory system will be getting affected first. And later on, encephalitis. Encephalitis is nothing but brain swelling, swelling of brain. First one will be your respiratory system will be getting affected, and next your brain and nervous system will be getting affected. And what is the incubation period? What is meaning of incubation? Have you heard about this incubation period? After once this bacteria or virus which is causing disease enters into our body, it will take some time to multiply, to increase their number. Okay, the time period between when this pathogen enter into our body and the first symptom or sign is seen in our body, that time period is called as incubation period. Yes? Do you know this, right? In your 10th class or in your 7th or 8th, you might have studied in your school days. The time which is taken by the pathogen to multiply in number so that it will cause damage to our body. So whenever the damage is happening, then only we can see the first sign or symptoms in our body, right? That period is called as incubation period. And for this Nipah virus, it is 4 to 14 days. After once this Nipah virus enter into our body, it will take 4 to 14 days to show the symptoms. Okay. And next, if you see about the treatment, there is no correct treatment available for this Nipah virus. And even there is no vaccine to prevent this Nipah virus. Because of this, it is becoming a challenge for Kerala government to control this Nipah virus cases. Okay. And fatality rate is 40 to 75%. That means if you get this Nipah virus, 40 to 75 chances of 75% chance of death is there because there is no treatment, there is no vaccine. Okay, and for the first time, this outbreak of Nipah virus reported from Malaysia and Singapore. From there, it entered to different parts of the country. You know, this COVID-19 first seen in China. After that, what happened? It spread to different countries. In the same way, the first time this Nipah virus identified in year 1998 in Malaysia, in 1999 in Singapore. And then from that region to, it spread to different region. Why? What is the reason? Easy movement of people from one area to another area because of globalized era. Okay? There are similarities but not exactly the similar. No. Both is having RNA only, but the family to which it belongs is different. Okay, see this next one, guys. Bacillary dysentery cases rise in Kerala. I think you might have heard about amoebic dysentery. Have you heard this word amoebic dysentery in your school days? No idea. Yes. What is amoebic dysentery? Amoeba causes what? Amoeba enters into our body and it will affect which system? Digest system, and it will causes what? Diarrhea, vomitings. That is called as amoebic dysentery. In the similar way, we have bacillary dysentery. That means it is caused by bacteria. Bacteria is causing dysentery. Bacteria is affecting your digest system and it is causing vomitings and as well as diarrhea, irritation in your stomach, sometimes black color stools because of loss of blood. So like that it causes lots of problems in your digestive system. That is called as bacillary dysentery. So which bacteria is causing that? That is Shigella. Please make a note here. Bacillary dysentery is caused by bacteria that is called as Shigella. Shigella causes bacillus dysentery. Amoeba causes amoebic dysentery. They are not same, but both will affect your digestive system. Okay, and there are 4 types of bacteria of this Shigella which causes this dysentery. The first one is Shigella dysenteriae. No need of remembering this. Shigella flexneri, Shigella boydii and Shigella sonai. So actually the family of this Shigella has like many genus. So in that we have 4 types of Shigella which causes this Bacillus dysentery. So just remember Bacillus dysentery is caused by just Shigella, which will be affecting your digestive system. And how the transmission of this disease happen? Whenever we are consuming contaminated water. Do you know this meaning of contamination? Contamination, what is the meaning of contamination? The pure thing which had been mixed with impure. That is called as contamination. Contamination of water or contamination of food can cause this Bacillus dysentery. Okay? And it is also called as fecal route. For example, if there is any one person who is suffering from this Bacillus dysentery, he went outside. Okay, he went outside and he passed the stools outside. After that, what happened if there is any mosquito or if there is any housefly which had been sat on that stool and it came and it again sat on the food or it again sat on the water, like that means what happened? It can transmit that bacteria. Bacteria, you know, it is a microscopic organism. So that process is called as contamination. And if you are consuming that contaminated food or contaminated water, that will lead to the passage of or transmission of this disease from one person to another person. Okay, the main reasons here is contamination of food, water, and even direct person to person contact. If you are directly contacting that person, and even the flies, they act as mechanical vectors of passage of this bacteria. Okay, so these are the common methods of transmission of the disease. And if you see what will be the symptoms: severe abdominal pain, high grade fever, painful and urge to pass stools. Stools may also contain blood and mucus. So in that way, the disease will be like having severe symptoms. Okay, if you see the treatment part, yes, bacteria can be killed by antibiotics. So if you go to any doctor, they will prescribe antibiotics. And normally what they will do in the case of diarrhea, obviously they will try to provide you what they will provide? Salines. Why they will provide salines? Because if you are having this kind of diarrhea, obviously body will be getting dehydrated, right? So to maintain proper rehydration in your body, they will ask you to take ORS. They will ask you to take mild food with curd, because curd is having probiotics that will improve your gut microbes. And next one is obviously they will try to maintain your body fluids through salines. Have you ever had that kind of things? I think in your family you might have seen, if anyone is having this kind of diarrhea, etc. Obviously if you take them to hospital, for sure they will give salines. Okay, in that way you have to see and you have to use your common sense. And if there is any question or statement related to that, you have to select wisely. Okay, now let us see next one. Say this, guys. Contraceptive use and the weight women carry. Insights from NFHS 6. So here, what is the meaning of a contraceptive? It is nothing but a medicine or a drug or any device which will be used by a woman to prevent to become a pregnant. That is the meaning of contraceptive. So now, wide range of contraceptives are available in the market. So because of this, what is happening here? Now women are using contraceptives so that can prevent them to become pregnant. So what is the impact on TFR? Increase or reduces? What is TFR? Total fertility rate. What is the meaning of total fertility rate? In the entire reproductive age of woman, how many children she can give the birth or she can bear. That is called as TFR. So if availability of contraceptive are increasing, then what about TFR? Increase or decreases? Obviously TFR decreases, right? Women are not becoming pregnant. So because of this, they will not give birth to children. So TFR will be obviously reduced. Then what about women empowerment? Now because of availability of contraceptives, can women take the decision on their bodily autonomy or not, on their reproductive autonomy or not? When they want to become pregnant, how many children they want, and at which time they want to become pregnant, and how many number of children they want to have. So what is happening here is because of increased contraceptive usage, we are also increasing women empowerment. Okay, so here the idea of this article here is, this article is saying that contraception primarily used as an instrument for population control, and even it is emerging as a marker of women's reproduction agency. That means nothing but normally contraception is used as an instrument to control population. Yes or no? In this contraception, we have devices that can be used, we have medicines, and we have surgical procedures also. So whatever the contraception that methods that we are using, that is to primarily control the population growth. And on another side, it is also increasing women empowerment. That is the meaning of this point. So here they gave one word called as reproduction agency. So here you may get a question in your prelims related to this reproduction agency. Why? Because in 2024 they gave a simple question prelims that recently TFR is seen in news what it is, and they gave ABCD options. And now NFHS 6 is highlighting this. What is this NFHS, National Family Health Survey? What they will do in this survey? So actually this survey is conducted by our union government itself, and they'll go for door-to-door survey, and they will ask the people questions, and they will collect the data. That means it is highly authentic data. In that authentic data, if they are giving some new terminologies, means UPSC can ask a question on that. So how UPSC can ask a question here is, reproductive agency is seen in news, what it is. Or else the question may go in this way, National Health Survey 6 said about reproductive agency, what it is. Like that UPSC can give you a simple choose the correct answer based question. So please make a note guys, reproductive agency means, okay, write down, reproductive agency means having the power and freedom. Reproductive agency means having the power and freedom, having the power and freedom to make your own choices, to make your own choices, to make your own choices about your body, about your body, about your body, about your body and your future, about your body and about your future related to reproduction, related to reproduction. Okay, I'll give you some example. For example, woman now can decide how many children she want to have, like 1 child or 2 child or 3 child. And this one is when she want her children, like at the age of 25 or 26 or 27 or 28, 30, she can decide it. And next one here is how many, if they want to have the children or not. Is she ready to have a children or not? Is she ready to go for this gestation period or not? And next one is, if they want to use any contraceptive, now women will be deciding like which kind of contraceptive she can use. So all these are the examples to say what exactly the reproductive agency is. Are you understanding? Reproductive agency is nothing but we are empowering the woman, and women will be taking the decision on her reproduction, her bodily autonomy. So that is the meaning of reproductive agency. So now because of this contraceptives, there is increased reproductive agency, and now women are somewhat empowered, and they are taking the decisions on their reproductive autonomy. That is the main thing highlighted by this National Family Health Survey 6. Okay, and next important point which mainly said is, if you go to earlier period like around 1960s, 1970s and 1980s, do we have this much contraceptive access? For sure, no. So because of this lack of contraceptive access, at that time what happened? Women do not have reproductive autonomy, and women did not have even, she didn't participate in taking the decisions in her reproduction. Normally other family persons in her family used to take whether to continue or not, how many children, yes or no. So you can ask your grandparents or you can ask your parents, like, did you involve in that kind of discussions in the family or not? Mostly they are out of that discussions. Everything will be normally decided by the husband or in-laws. At that time, because of lack of contraceptive measures, unhealthy pregnancies were very high and unsustainably more births were there. And even at that time, if they are going for if they want to end their pregnancy, or if they want to not to have this kind of pregnancies like that, all obviously they do not have proper secure health care also at that time. So because of this, MMR and child death rate is very high at that time. But whenever this contraceptives availability is increased, obviously MMR got decreased and even reproductive agency had been improved. That is the thing which is said in this article. But one important point highlighted by this National Family Health Survey is, even though there is increased contraceptive access, in some areas, women are still discriminated based on their reproductive rights. Okay, why? Because of unequal social architecture which is present. Okay, so now let us see what exactly this third point is talking about. So if you are staying in urban areas, obviously in some developed states of our country, literacy is very high and women reproductive agency is very high. But if you go to other states where TFR is more, in which states TFR is more? Northern states, especially in this UP, Bihar, in that region TFR is very high. It is more than 3. Women are, even today, they are giving birth to 3 child, 4 child, 5. It is going on in this Bihar. So in that areas, there is no proper women empowerment. Okay, that is the point which mainly highlighted by this National Family Health Survey, guys. Okay, see here the last point. Despite the availability of modern contraception, women face some significant hurdles. There is unequal responsibility for sterilization. If we want to go for surgical procedure for contraception, we have male surgical contraception and even female. But who has to go for contraception in our society? Obviously female. They will ask female to go for contraceptive surgery, but not male. That means there is unequal sterilization which is going on in our country. Yes or no? Women already face lot in her life. But again, for the sterilization also, women is advised to go for sterilization. Why not male? That is one thing which mainly highlighted in this survey. And next one is, there is lack of decision making power for women. And especially in some remote areas and underdeveloped areas, there is no proper awareness about this contraceptives and there is misinformation, and lot of time there is a myths which will be spread very fast in that so and so areas, guys. So that is the thing which mainly highlighted. And now your work starts here. If you are a district collector and if you are posted in this kind of areas where TFR is very high and women are not properly empowered and reproductive agency is not properly there at the ground level. So if you want to increase awareness and if you want to ensure women empowerment, what kind of steps you can take? Are you understanding? In this way, you will be getting a question. Obviously, if you are posted in remote areas, you have to tackle with this kind of problems also. So think like, how can you empower women related to their reproductive rights? Clear? So in this way, you may get a case study in your ethics also because it is authentic data. Okay, now let us see next article says, guys, implementation complete, but workers still vulnerable. Okay, to understand this, you have to know some background. You have to know some history. If you see about labor, protection of labor is very important and is also the important task of government. You know different laws. Okay, you know laws, right? In our constitution, we have Schedule 7. You'll come across the Schedule 7 soon, guys, in your polity classes. So as of now, remember, we have Schedule 7 of Indian Constitution, and this Schedule 7 talks about 3 different lists. We have union list, we have state list, we have concurrent list. So we have 3 lists under this Schedule 7. So whatever the subjects which are there under this union list, union government, that is central government, has to make laws on it. Okay, what are the subjects which are there under this union list? Central government will make laws on it. And what are the subjects which are there in this state list? State government will make laws on it. And what are the subjects which are there in this concurrent list? Both union and state, they can make laws. Related to this labor, we have lots of laws which had been made by the states and central. We have more than 100 laws related to labor. So recently what we did is we took all those laws and we consolidated into 4 labor codes. Okay, and we consolidated into 4 labor codes. And recently in the month of May, we implemented that labor codes in industries. For what? To provide safety and security for our labor. You know, we implemented that in the month of May. Now we are in the month of June. Many accidents happened in many industries, right? So the title says that implementation complete. Implementation complete means, yes, we implemented labor codes at the ground level, but workers are still vulnerable. Are you understanding what is the meaning of title now? Yes, we implemented labor codes in the industries, but still there are accidents which are happening. Because of these accidents, what is happening? Loss of life of labor is happening. Are we ensuring safety? No. So that is this introduction, guys. And I'll tell you what are those labor codes are. Please make a note. Okay, first one is code on wages. Please make a note. Code on wages. Keep heading 4 labor codes. Under that, first one is code on wages. What is code on wages says about the minimum wages and equal wages for women and as well as men for the same work, like that. It will be talking about wages. And second one is the industrial relations code. Second one is industrial relations code. Second one is industrial relations code. Done. And third one is the code on social security. Third one is the code on social security. You know about the social security, right? If woman is pregnant, she used to get maternal leave. Yes, social security. And next one is the occupational safety and the occupational safety and the occupational safety and the occupational safety, health and working conditions code. The occupational safety, health and working conditions code. Health and working conditions code. So whatever the labor laws are there, we codified. We made all those things into 4. One is talking about wages, one is talking about industrial relations, one is talking about social security, one is talking about safety. Can we see safety here? So when we implemented them, with the notification of the rules for 4 labor codes in May, the implementation framework for these code is now complete. That means we came up this related to this codes in 2020, 2019 only. But in 2026 in May, we implemented at the ground level. So now this is complete. But what is happening here? There is no proper safety. That is the meaning of this title. Now let us see what are the gaps or why still these workers are vulnerable in this industries. You have to know this. If UPSC wants to ask a question, the question can be in this format. Recently, 4 labor codes implementation done by central government. But many industrial accidents are not prevented. Do you think these labor codes are going to enhance safety of the labor? what are the reasons behind it, and suggest some measures. Like that, UPSC can ask you a means-based question. Are you understanding? They may ask you why these people are vulnerable, what can be done more, what is the way forward. So like that, UPSC can ask you a question and you have to be careful. So if you see about why still these workers are vulnerable is, we have two types of workforce. One is formal workforce, second one is informal. Formal is nothing but government officers, and this one is who are IT employees. So those comes under formal workforce. And normally whatever the industries, the labor who are working is, they'll come under informal workforce. Around 90 to 80 to 90% of our Indian workforce works under this informal sector. So informal sector will not have any written contracts. So if you're working in any IT company, they will ask you to work for minimum 2 years of work. You have to write a bond. So if you're working as a labor in any industry, will they sign this kind of bonds like 2 years work, 3 years work? That is called as informal. There will be no written contracts, and even they will not get any social security. Like they will not get any paid leaves. They will not get any maternal benefits. After once you retired, will you get pension? No. And next one is, there is no proper legal awareness. What are the rights of these workers? And next one is, labor laws often fail to reach them effectively. What are the labor laws which is implemented? They will not reach these informal workers. That is a one major problem in our industries. And second one is weak enforcement. Whatever the laws will be there, they will be not enforced at the ground level. So that is the next problem here. And next one is, there is rising of contract. Okay. So next one here is, there is rising of contractual employment. What is the meaning of contractual employment? Uh, Weekly employment. For example, there will be one contractor. He will be taking the labor and he will make them to work in that so and so industry for temporary period. You know this contract based work, right? So nowadays there is increasing of contractual employment. So because of this, what is happening? They will receive lower wages and they will get very few benefits, and even they do not have any job security. They will make them to work for 1 week or 10 days or 15 days till that project is done. So in that way, again, our labor will be getting exploited. And next one here is, there is persistent vulnerability of migrant workers. You know, people will be migrating from one area to another area. Especially if you take industries in South, who will be working in that South industries like rice mills, construction works, Bihar people will be working more. Do you have this idea? So here, this again, there is a problem of migrant workers. If migrant workers are coming, they have problems related to wage, they have problems related to housing, and even they will not get schemes. They are not eligible for the schemes in our state because they are migrant workers, and even they will not get proper benefits. And in this way here, migrants will become more vulnerable if there is any economic disruption. I think you might have seen what was the case which happened in this 2019 because of COVID-19 pandemic, because of nationwide shutdown. At that time, this migrants faced a problem like there is no proper transport system to reach their hometown. At that time, many people they walked, and sometimes government arranged some special trains. Have you seen that news at that time? So here, if there is any disruptions, obviously this migrant people will be more vulnerable. And this one here is, they will not get any social security like insurance, pension, provident fund. You know that. And this one here is, they're also having the problem with digital divide. They do not have proper digital literacy like using of apps, using of grievance judicial mechanism, and even they don't know about exactly what are the laws which are present, what are their rights, and even they do not aware about them. So these are the major problems why workers are still vulnerable after implementation of this labor codes also in our country. Yes. And now you guys tell me what is the way forward. First one is, we have to ensure universal social security. And in this social security, we have to include this informal workers. You know these ZIG workers, right? ZIG workers are nothing but platform workers. I think you will do online shopping from this Zepto, Instamart, like Uber, Rapido. So all this comes under gig economy. So we have to give the social security for this informal and gig platform workers and even migrant workers. That is the one thing that we can do so that we can protect this laborers. And this one is we have to increase inspections. So if you're increasing inspection by these authorities, obviously we can ensure that implementation of laws are happening or not. And next one here is we have to come up with welfare schemes and we have to create dedicated social security fund. We have to create a fund so that from that fund we can give the benefits to these workers. And next one is we have to ensure formal employment. And for that reason, government came up with one portal called as e-Shrim portal. You'll be seeing about that in your governance topic. And next one is we have to ensure proper basic facilities for this labor, especially migrant labor like housing facilities. Okay. And proper healthcare access for this migrant workers. And next one is we have to encourage social dialogue between government and laborers and industries for the betterment of this labors. Okay. And we have to focus on workers' welfare so that we can achieve inclusive and sustainable economic growth. So in this way, you have to give some suggestions. Clear? It will be like a 15-marker question or 10-marker question in your mains. Okay, see this article, guys. Rupees lumps 60 pies to close to 95.85 against dollar. What is the meaning of it? Now, $1 is equal to how many rupees? 95.85 rupees. If you want to purchase $1, you have to give that much Indian rupees. Okay, that means Indian rupee value is increasing or decreasing? Yes, there is decreasing of Indian rupee value. This concept you will study in your economy and it is very important concept. And UPSC asked question number of times on this concept of depreciation. Okay, here the rupee value is decreasing. Okay, to understand it, I'll give you one example. Let us consider $1 is equal to 60 rupees. Okay, the standard value is $1 is equal to 60 rupees. For example, but now the same $1 price is equal to 95.85 rupees. And I'll take one more scenario. $1 is equal to 50 rupees. So this is standard one, $1 is called 60 rupees. But now the present $1 value here is like 95 rupees. That means the rupee value is increasing or decreasing. So we have to give more rupees to get $1. No, that means rupee value is decreasing. So here take this scenario which is written in orange pen. So if you want to get $1, how many rupees you have to give? 50. That means the rupee value, if you compare with the scenario, increased or decreased? Rupee value is more here, but here rupee value is less here. When rupee value is more, that concept is called as appreciation. When rupee value is less, it is called as depreciation. Depreciation means decreasing of Indian rupee value. Increasing of Indian rupee value is called as appreciation. So now what you have to see is why this depreciation is happening in our country. Why Indian value is decreasing. What we discussed in yesterday's class, one article, it is about FDI. Yes, FDI is increasing or decreasing in our country? Decreasing. If FDI is decreasing means what happened? Dollars are coming into India or going out from India? What is happening in India? Is dollar coming or going out? Yes, dollars are going out. If dollars are going out, what is the problem for India? India is majorly oil importing country. Yes, gold importing country. So we have to pay amount in dollars because oil is traded in petrodollars. Oil sales will go on in dollars. We have to pay more amount of dollars. On one side, dollars are going away from our country. From where we can get these dollars? If we want to buy these dollars, we have to give now more money. Because of that, what is happening here? Value of Indian rupee is reducing drastically. That is the one important cause of depreciation. Okay. So here the first important reason for depreciation is we are buying costly imports. Those are nothing but oil and as well as gold. And next, second reason is on one other side, this FDI is going outside. Okay, that is the second important reason. And next one is we are paying more and more dollars. So because of this, what is happening here? There is less amount of dollars in our country. Okay. And next, from where we'll get these dollars? We have to export our goods so that we can get dollars. But what is happening in India? We are exporting cheap goods. So whatever the amount we are getting here is causing, it is not sufficient actually. So these are the major reasons why there is depreciation of dollar, so depreciation of Indian rupees happening against dollar. Okay. So in that way you have to analyze. Okay, now see the questions guys. Answer these questions. With reference to Nipah virus, consider the following statements. There are 4 statements given. First one is Nipah virus is a zoonotic disease that can spread from animals to humans. Second one, fruit bats are natural reservoir host of virus. Third one, Nipah virus infection is caused by bacterium belonging to genus Shigella. Next one, human to human transmission of Nipah virus has been documented. Nipah virus is caused by virus only. Why it is caused by bacterium? That kind of statements will be there. You have to be careful while reading. That means for sure 3 is wrong. Eliminate the options which is having option 3. So now you came up with this 2 options 50-50. Now which option you have to see? Only 4th option you have to check. Again, don't read 1, 2 and 4. Don't waste your time. So you have to see only 4. See here, human to human transmission. It is there. Because of that only now Kerala government is taking some steps. What will be the answer? B. 1, 2 and 4. So in that way you have to solve. Don't waste much time in reading the statements. If you take much time, you will not complete 100 questions in 120 minutes. In 1 minute, you have to do one question, guys. Then only you can bubble in that last 20 minutes. Because at least 5 to 10 minutes of time will be gone. Why? Because in that examination hall, they will bring some papers and there you have to bubble your hall ticket number. Again, you have to bubble what is the OMR sheet number. And you have to bubble which set of question paper you got. And you have to keep your sign. For that 5 minutes will be gone. So you'll be having 1 hour 15 minutes. Each and every second is important in your examination hall. It's gone. Okay, see this. Next question, guys. Consider the following statements regarding bacillary dysentery. Poor sanitation, contaminated water are major risk factors. Hand hygiene plays an important role in prevention. The disease is exclusively transmitted by mosquitoes. Children are particularly vulnerable to this disease. For sure, it is caused by contamination of water. We didn't discuss anywhere about mosquito bite. So it is wrong. Third one. See this 4th statement again. Answer is 1, 2 and 4. So in that way, you have to answer smartly. Okay. Yeah, that's all guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this class, please hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And if you have not yet been subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe guys. And if you want to start your UPSC preparation, you can join our GS Prelims cum Mains Foundation course which had been started recently guys. And if you want to know further details and if you have any queries, please do contact us on this number 8074765513. And if you want to visit our academy, you can come and visit. It is in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad case. And I will be available from morning to evening in this academy so that you can come and you can meet me. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.